Political discussion. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Finally, the President of United States, Mr. Donald Trump, he has released the retaliatory or reciprocal tariff on 14 countries. The list has been released, and what is not released is United Kingdom because these people are in discussion or bargain with America, and it is said that it is around 10%. What is not released for European Union? They are again in discussion, and their official are in Washington DC. What is not released is China. Okay, that is anticipated because they are again bargaining kind of thing. What is not released is much awaited India. So we will talk about it. What is not released is Vietnam because with Vietnam also the discussion is going on. With Vietnam discussion is pursuing. Okay. So this country that reciprocal tariff has not been released. What has been released for the 14 countries? Reciprocal tariff has been finally released by American president. And what would be the rate of export? Means if these countries businessmen, if these countries companies, if they export their product into United States or United States, rather this is the better word, if these country business people, if companies they export their product into United States, what is the entry level tariff that America would charge on them? And these 40 countries are Japan, South Korea, Myanmar, means Burma. So Japan, South Korea, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, 9 countries from this side, and then Kazakhstan. So more or less 10 countries are from Asia itself, South Africa and Tunisia. Tunisia is a country that is near to Morocco. Tunisia is a country that is near to Libya, Algeria. I believe between Libya and Algeria. This country is facing France, Tunisia, but it is in Africa. Tunisia and South Africa from the Africa, and then Bosnia Herzegovina and Serbia from Europe. So there are 14 countries for which the list has been released. And as the way the expectation was, there is no surprise in that. Anyway, it was already released that with Vietnam, the tariff would be 20%. Vietnam, the tariff would be 20% and 40% on transshipment. Because if Chinese businessmen companies they understand that if Chinese products are being exported into America, it is 30%, and from the Vietnam it is 20%, then they will make everything made in Vietnam and they will ship from the Vietnam. So transshipment tax on the Vietnam was 40%. If any other country, if they transship product to United States through Vietnam, then it will be 40%. So more or less people understood that it would be in 40% range. Now transshipment tariff. There is no word called transshipment tariff has been introduced. Flat tax has been introduced. And as expected, the countries that are near to Vietnam means Southeastern Asian countries like Myanmar, Laos, Myanmar, Laos. I believe it is 40%, and then Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand, more or less 40% on them. Two of them is 40% and two of them is 36%. More or less 40% tax has been imposed on these countries. Very, 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 very high. These are poor countries. And for them, 40% is very high rate. And otherwise, it was 3% earlier in the Joe Biden's government. 3% to 40%. Donald Trump has cited when he has made this list out, he is sending letters to the head of the state of these countries. So in that letter, Donald Trump is mentioning that reciprocal tariff on these countries, what they were, reciprocal tariff on these countries earlier, it was surprisingly very less. And these countries, they were charging surprisingly very high. And he is true actually. These countries, they were charging around 100%, 90% on the American product, where America was charging 3%. It was out of the way, nowhere it was in comparison. So Donald Trump is mentioning that whatever you people were charging, that was nowhere in the comparison. So we have to charge this much. Anyway, So this is the now if I talk about Malaysia and Indonesia, then they are being charged at 25% and 30%, I believe. Indonesia 30% and Malaysia 25%. But these four countries near to Vietnam, that is Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand, 36, 36, 40, 40, 40%. On South Korea and Japan, the letter has been sent to Ishiga Shigeru, Mr. Ishiga Shigeri. I believe he is Prime Minister, head of the Prime Minister of Japan, and President of South Korea, Mr. Lee Jae Mayong or something like that. Mr. Lee Jae, he is the President of South Korea. Letter has been sent to him also, or it will be sent, or by now it would have been sent to Mr. Lee Jae also. This is the 25% tariff on them. 25%, I believe, tariff has been imposed on Kazakhstan also. Kazakhstan, where is Kazakhstan? I don't know. Out of the way, Kazakhstan has come. I believe more or less around 35% tax has been imposed on Bangladesh also. Okay, very high tariff. So 10 country tax we have talked now. Two countries in Africa, that is South Africa and Tunisia. So Tunisia, I believe, around 25 to 30%, and South Africa 30%. And two countries out of the way, people they do not know much, that is Serbia and Bosnia Herzegovina. These countries also. If we anyway, this is the straightforward that is coming in newspaper. Donald Trump is saying that tax will be imposed from the 1st of August, not now. Now they have time for the around 25 days. Today is 8th, so more or less 14 days, 24 days. For 24 days, they can come in discussion with America. Now they have option now. If they go down with the tax on the American products, that is around 90% and 100%. If they go low, then America would come down. If they go high, whatever percentage they go high, they will America will also increase that much percent. If these countries they say that we will not do retaliatory and we will jump 20% more, America would jump 20% more. If they come down, then America would think what United States want. Donald Trump is saying that what United States want. Donald Trump is saying that United States has decreased the tax, or it has made a tax cut on the American. Exemption has been given to American. That will lead to around $3.3 trillion loss in the revenue of America that has been collected as tax in next 10 years. Now to recuperate that, to compensate that, now America is looking like that. Now these countries that if tariff rate is higher, then they will come to America and they will say that we will lower down the tariff rate of the American products entering into their country. In that fashion, America would also lower down. America wants, is it not published in the newspaper, but I am saying, looks like America wants 0%. 0% tariff these country would charge on American products, and America would charge 0% on them. So this will be open market to the American company to sell their product in this country. This will enhance a lot the American revenue. American company revenue will go up if their import tariff for the American companies will be 0%. In this fashion, compensation, whatever America is losing, lowering down the tariff on the to the people of America, it will compensate. This is the idea behind it. This is what Donald Trump is saying. So now American companies they have option to make to see the open market in many countries if they reduce the taxes, looking at the high tariff on that. Anyway, this is open for the negotiation. This is open for the discussion. This is what Donald Trump is saying, and that is all. This is all what they consider. This is the news. Anyway, what is hidden here? What is hidden that we have to understand now? If someone that is the question number one that comes is why only these countries? If I leave the European country out of the way, Bosnia Herzegovina and Serbia, this country no one knows, and more or less they are not pro-American country. They are more or less they have Muslim population, and they are not pro-American country. That is for sure. South Africa not a pro-American country and founding member of BRICS nation. Tunisia, I don't know. It is pro-American not, but certainly these countries are not American countries. Let's see 14 countries in the Asia. 14 countries in the Asia. If I leave up Bangladesh, then all 13 countries are neighbor of China, including Kazakhstan, South Korea, Japan, more or less Bangladesh also, more or less loosely. Bangladesh to all 14 countries are neighbor of China. America is targeting China. First is locked all the neighbor of China, which have good relationship with the China. South Korea, Japan, till Indonesia, till Bangladesh and Kazakhstan, all are neighbor of the China, and high tariff has been imposed on them. This is giving a clear signal that Chinese companies they would not transship their product through these countries. That is for sure. That is the that is the main idea behind it. That so quick and only to these nations means Chinese companies they would not transship their product through Cambodia, through Laos, through Myanmar, through Thailand, through Malaysia, through Indonesia, where they have very tight presence, and then either through South Korea or Japan or through Kazakhstan or even Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a country which is turning pro-China. Bangladesh, I believe it comes in one belt, one road initiative from the China, and lot of companies they are investing in the Bangladesh. All true friends of the China, true friends of the China, all are barred now, all are banned now, more or less. America is not looking for any product that will enter from these countries into United. They know these are poor countries. Only Chinese company they either they first they stop the transshipment. Transshipment means Chinese company they would first bring their product into this country and they will make made in this country and they will export to them. Or Chinese companies who have invested in this country. If Chinese companies they have invested a lot in these countries, now they cannot ship their product to the America with lower price. Better they will ship their product from China itself, where the rates are 30%. Anyway, this is the message number one. Means they are trying to block China. Okay, what is another thing is much awaited the tariff rate on India is not disclosed. Much awaited. Indian Prime Minister 6th and 7th of the July, there was a BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and their Indian Prime Minister was present. Prior to that, he was hovering in there only. Sometime Trinidad Tobago, sometime Argentina, now Brazil. Even though BRICS Nation Summit is over, now he is moving to Brasilia, and there he will have some. Means Indian Prime Minister indirectly he is trying to put pressure on the American president. I am nearby only. Please do whatever we have asked you to do. So then while returning, he will be in Namibia, more or less around there only. Then he will come more or less by 9th of the July. Idea is that he will hover on the mind of Donald Trump. What India wants is India has already disclosed that India is ready to make tariff as 0%. 0%. No tariff on American product entering into India. And India wants similar from the America also. 0%. India is a country which had experience in the electronic industry, I mean software industry, not in the hardware much, but in software industry. And in hardware also, it is looking for assembly kind of thing. If any company they want to do end product assembly, they can do in India. Means like Apple Mobile is doing 15% of its assembly in India. India is looking into that. If America agrees for the 0% tariff on the India, the way India has done 0%, then there will be a big trade instability will happen around the globe. Big trade instability. What big trade? Since India has experience in software business and in hardware assembly, many American companies, most of the American companies, they will shift from China to India. This is what America wants probably, because China will lose in this fashion, and this is what India wants. India wants, America wants. But side effect of this is that many American companies they will leave America itself and they will come to India. Because what is meaning of a spending into American salary then? Whatever is not that is high technical work, now they can shift. Right now the import tariff on American product average it is 56%. That is very high. 56% average tariff on American product entering into India is very high. If it becomes 0% this side and that side, then many American companies they will leave America. Even movies they will start producing in India itself because there is no tariff at all, no tax at all, and Indian labor cost is very low. Okay, and many are skilled labor because for around 35 years, software and electronic businesses are there. So in this fashion, America would lose heavily. Anyway, America don't care about the European Union companies, but America would lose heavily. That's why America is putting steps very cautiously against India. India has declared 0% tax. That's why, as we have already mentioned, we are mentioning this in all the discussion that the tariff list of India will not be disclosed and tariff list of China will also not be disclosed. Tariff list of Vietnam is on hold because there is a tons of investment of China in Vietnam. So there also America is cautious. Means America is cautious from the China perspective and America is cautious from the American companies perspective also. They should not, they do not want that this country would become deep country. Deep country means low country, means everyone will slide down to the India only. Anyway, let's wait and watch. Anyway, the idea is somehow to make toughest harm, whatever harm America can do, it should do on China. That is the idea. Chinese company, Chinese business, it should be ruined down and American business would flourish. That is the concept. Okay. From this country, from where the list has been declared, America does not have any expectation as such that these countries' business people they will go and invest in America. There is no, these are more or less poor countries only. Main is they are neighbor of China. They have blocked now. Now no Chinese company can transship their product from this country. That is for sure now. Anyway, everyone is awaiting now the trade deal or tariff deal with the China and India because this is going to change the world. Okay, if tariff is very high on China, then American company, Chinese company, they will try to come to India because tariff on South Asian companies is higher. Means they don't want Chinese company to flourish investing into South Asian companies. This is what they are. Means in any fashion, they want to topple down the Chinese company. If tariff on the China is higher, then Chinese company would come to India. This is what America also wants. Okay, but there can be side effect also. If tariff rate on India is very high, then American companies who have invested in India, they will start sweating. So again, there will be a turmoil, there will be a lot of change that will happen globally because lot of European Union companies and American companies, they have invested in India. Okay, so let wait and watch what is going to happen. But anyway, this is how it is, and now everyone is looking for the China and India tariff deal.